Good day to you all, comrades and friends. This is Global Weekly News, serial number 24. The opposition in South Africa charged the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, with corruption. The opposition in Peru has brought a no confidence motion against the President Pedro Castillo. In the coming weeks, we will follow these developments. First item we see today in Global Weekly News, serial number 24 is strike in National Health Services in United Kingdom. In Great Britain, workers are on strike in many sectors. Railway workers, 70,000 university student workers are protesting. Last month, polling was conducted among the workers of National Health Services in the United Kingdom on the decision for going on a strike. Thousands of ambulance drivers, nurses, health employees took part in the ballot. The strike is inevitable as per the outcome of the poll. The nurses will go on strike on 15th and 20th December. Ambulance drivers will go on strike on 20th December. The workers will go on strike to fill up the vacancies. That is the demand they are raising. National Health Service is a good service which many other countries have to follow. One of the reasons for the strike is the very meager hike in the wages. Second reason is not filling up vacancies by the government. There are 47,000 nurses post vacant in National Health Service. The present Conservative Party government and the Labour Party government in the past follow austerity policies. Inflation is unprecedented 10%. The living conditions of the workers have deteriorated to the levels in 2008 to 10. Last week, 200 people died due to delay in availing emergency services. Ambulance service and emergency services have been pushed to the brink. Government is not investing adequately for national health services. This is the case in all capitalist countries. They allot less and less funds to health care. The trickle-down theory, namely by neoliberal policies, the richer will get richer and the gains will trickle down to the lower levels of people. This sort of trickle-down theory has totally failed. 2023, January, we will see many strikes in Great Britain. Comrades and friends, second we go to USA, where also strikes will take place. US railway workers are on agitation path for months, demanding filling up vacancies. They have decided to go on strike on 9th December on the demand of 15 days of paid sick leave. At present, they don't have any single paid day for sick leave. On 30th November, Joe Biden government has passed a bill in the House of Representatives, the lower house of the Congress, banning the strike in the railways. The bill goes to the Senate. I think the Senate has approved it. So the strike has been banned in the railways in USA, the great country, they call it the greatest democracy. Food, fuel, medicine, etc. are transported through railways. Strike in railways will destabilize the economy. Government is helping 4 or 5 railway corporate companies to amass huge profits. Rail workers are not able to return home for many weeks. Even when the workers are on off duty, they are asked to report for duty. Due to heavy workload, workers get ill often. To get medical treatment, they have to take leave and lose wages. The trains in United States of America are miles long, but the number of workers is reduced. Compared to 2000, profits of railway corporates have increased by 85%. In 2021 alone, the railway corporates earned a profit of $20,000 million. Even if they accept the demand of the workers, that is 15 days paid sick leave, they incur expenses only $688 million. They get profit of $20,000 million and they are not coming forward to spend $688 million. That is 3.5% of the profits. That also they are not, they are very much reluctant to allot for the sick leave, paid sick leave. The corporates are so crazy about their profits. The workers agree even for 4 paid sick leave, but the rail companies are ready to grant only 3 unpaid sick leave, and that too 30-day advance intimation to be given about the leave. Can anyone guess sickness before 30 days? Definitely not. The workers demand that sick leave shall be sanctioned without advance intimation. People say that people of US are conservatives and only 10% of the workers are unionized. But US people support the strike of the railway workers. Third, we go to ILO's report on global wages. Global Wage Report 22-23. International Labour Organization ILO has released a global wage report 22-23 on 30th November. Due to COVID-19, inflation and Ukraine war and economic crisis, etc., many changes in the purchasing power of the people and wages have occurred during the past 3 years. In many countries, due to inflation, real wages growth have become negative. Real wages means real purchasing power of your income. Your income may rise, but purchasing power, if it gets reduced, that means your real wages have gone down. Real wages of middle class and low income earners have reduced. In the absence of the appropriate correct policies, real wages of the workers go down, inequalities rise, there will not be any economic recovery, and there will be more social tensions. IMF, International Monetary Fund, assessed world economic growth rate to 3.6% in April. It was reassessed to be 3.2% in July. In October, IMF assessed that growth rate will reduce by 2 to 2.7%. There will be recession in 2023. In the first half of 2022, monthly real wages got reduced by minus 0.9%. After 2008, now only real wage growth has become negative. If we exclude China, it will be minus 1.4% decline. In China, wage growth is high compared to many other countries. In G20 countries, real wage loss is minus 2.2% average. In the region of Canada and America, average real wages grew by 4.3% in 2020. But in the first half of 2022, it fell to minus 3.2%. In the region of Latin America and the Caribbean, real wages grew by 3.3% in 2020, but in the first half of 2022, it reduced to minus 1.7%. In European Union, though retention allowance and wage subsidies are given, real wage growth is only 0.4% in 2020, minus 2.4% in first half of 2022. In the Asia Pacific region, real wage growth was 1% in 2020, 3.5% in 2021 and 1.3% in 2022. Real wage growth is there, it is due to China. It has not become negative in this Asia Pacific region. In the African region, real wage growth was minus 10.5% in 2020, minus 1.4% in 2021 and minus 0.5% in 2022. In socialist China, real wages grew 2.6 times between 2008 and 2022. In Italy, Japan, Mexico, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, real wages in 2022 was lower than in 2008. Compared to non-essential goods, essential goods prices increase. Low-income earners mostly spend their income to essential goods and therefore they are affected more due to inflation. In 2022 period, women have lost more jobs compared to men. That is during this corona period. Women have lost more jobs. Fourth, comrades and friends, we go to Julian Assange. Julian Assange is an Australian journalist, editor of WikiLeaks. He exposed the war crimes of United States in Iraq, Afghanistan, etc. He is now imprisoned in Belmarsh jail near London from 2019 onwards. USA is trying to get him extradited to US and prosecute under 18 charges under the US Espionage Act. If this happens, he will get a jail term of 175 years. Wow. A movement for the release of Assange is going on internationally. A two-member WikiLeaks delegation of chief editor Christine Rapson and an executive, Joseph Farrell, is personally meeting many progressive movements, press freedom seekers, and Latin American political leaders to get international support for the release of Julian Assange. They first visited Colombia on November 22-24 and met the President Gustavo Petro and the Foreign Minister Alvaro Levia. Both of them promised support. They also said that in coordination with other Latin American leaders and independently, they will take up the cause of release of Assange. WikiLeaks delegation met Lula da Silva, the president-elect of Brazil, the leftist president. Lula is in an editorial in The Guardian in 2020 September, when he was not the president, wrote that Assange shall be released. The delegation met press club members of Brazil also. And they also met leaders of Argentina also. In a democratic society, right to express and right to information are important pillars. A joint letter was released by The Guardian, El País, Le Monde, Der Spiegel and New York Times, which first published WikiLeaks cables. This letter says that prosecution of Assange is a threat to press freedom in USA. To get emotional news and releasing in the public interest is daily major work of a journalist. If one considers this as a criminal act, democracy will get weakened. This letter demands withdrawal of the prosecution of Assange and his release. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said that he will take the diplomatic route to get the release of Assange. Since Assange is an Australian citizen, many Australians show great interest in the release of Julian Assange. The family of Assange has welcomed the statement of the Prime Minister. As per the recent agreement between governments of Australia and USA, US airbase in Tyndall in Australia will be expanded by $1 billion or $100 crore. US is stationing its B-52 bombers in the airbase at Australia. Comrades and friends, we go to see the miseries of Pakistan. Pakistan is affected by climate change. Between June and September of this year, there was a hurricane, heavy rains in Pakistan. Major parts of Pakistan got flooded with rainwater. More than 1,700 people died and 12,800 got injured due to the floods. Millions have to migrate to new areas. Pakistan was co-chairman in the Conference of the Parties, UN Climate Conference, 27th UN Climate Conference at Egypt. Pakistan led 134 nations, G77, China, etc., and succeeded in getting the conference decision on loss and damage fund for climate changes. In the first week of September, people suffering from poverty, hunger, loss of houses, etc., they started protesting against the government instead of seeking aid. Many parts of Sindh region got affected. The infrastructure, including roads in Baluchistan, got damaged. Dams and bridges were not repaired. More than 13,000 kilometer roads, 439 bridges got destroyed. Trucks carrying essential and aid materials are looted by gangs. Left and progressive movements are extending basic services to the people to the extent possible. World Health Organization has warned on 17th September that Pakistan will face a second catastrophe soon. This catastrophe will take place due to many diseases like COVID, malaria, dengue, cholera, dysentery, and respiratory diseases. At this difficult time, more than 2,000 health facilities were either affected fully or partially. Even before the hurricane, maternity deaths are more in Pakistan. Now, 130,000 pregnant Pakistani women need emergency health care. The crops in 44 lakhs acres got destroyed. 59 lakhs people are having food insecurity. Between December and March 2023, 1.46 crore people will need emergency food aid. Summer harvest failed. Winter harvest is also affected by stagnating water in the fields for months at a stretch. 11 lakh cattle died due to the floods. Already Pakistan is facing economic crisis, reduction in foreign exchange reserves and budget deficits. To get continuously economic recovery fund from IMF, $600 crore, Pakistan increased fuel prices, subsidies also got reduced. IMF gave $110 crore aid in August, but this caused a loss of $1,100 crore in Pakistan economy. As per the World Bank, total loss due to the floods in Pakistan are $4,000 crore. IMF is insisting on reduction in tariffs, reduction in subsidies, liberalizing trade, autonomous status to State Bank, and decontrol of private capital and banks. More than half the Pakistan budget goes for debt repayment, another quarter for military expenses. Basically, the government has become bankrupt. Besides, Pakistan Talibans are acting in unison with Afghan Talibans. Sixth, we go to South Korea. Comrades and friends, the truck drivers' strike in South Korea has completed 10 days strike by 3rd December. Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, KCTU, has organized a parliament march on 3rd December. More than 25,000 truck drivers started indefinite strike from 23rd November onwards. In 2004, the South Korean government passed Trucking Transport Business Act. As per this act, if the government considers risk to economy or emergency situation, the government can order the striking truck workers to report to duty immediately, failing which there will be a hectic fine up to $23,000 or 3 years imprisonment and cancelling driver's license, etc. On 29th November of this year, South Korean cabinet ordered 2,500 cement truck drivers of 200 companies to report back to duty as per the 2004 Act. 25,000 truck drivers are members of Cargo Truckers Solidarity Union. This union has stated that government order is anti-democratic and the government is not ready to negotiate. So the strike is still continuing. Comrades, come to India. All the central trade unions are arranging a All India convention at Delhi on 30th January, the day of martyrdom of Mahatma Gandhi, and may decide on indefinite strike against the policies of Modi government. Besides, CITU, All India Kisan Sabha, All India Agricultural Workers Union will jointly mobilize 5 lakh workers, peasants and agricultural laborers for Delhi march on coming 5th April in 2023 on 14-point charter of demands. demands of the workers, demands of the agricultural workers, and demands of the peasants. From Tamil Nadu, we have to mobilize many thousands of the basic classes who create wealth of this country for Delhi March. Let us rush for train flight ticket bookings and plan for intensive campaign. Thank you, comrades. Lal Salam. See you next week.